Well, today we're going to discuss the book of Acts, Mars Hill. And Paul talks to the Athenians, and it begins with this. Then Paul stood up in the midst of Mars Hill and said, "You men of Athens, I perceive that in all things you are too religious. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription, To the unknown God, whom therefore you ignorantly worship, him declare I unto you, God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is the Lord of heaven and earth, dwells not in temples made with hands, neither is worshipped with men's hands as though he needed anything, seeing he gives to all life and breath and all things." And here's the key verse, "and has made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth, and has determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation, that they should seek the Lord, if they haply they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us." All right, so the key word is of one blood God created all the nations. Is that true? Well, I went out to StanfordBloodCenter.org. I also went to RedCrossBlood.org. I went to WorldAtlas.com and Statista.com. So what I found was this. They were trying to do blood transfusions in the past, and it began in 1628 when William Harvey discovered blood circulation. In 1658, Jan Swammerdam observes and describes red blood cells. So by 1900, Karl Landsteiner discovers the first three blood groups, A, B, and O. In 1902, Alfred de Castello and Adriano Sturley discovered type AB. In 1939 and 1940, the RH blood group is discovered. So between 1900 and 1940, everything about phlebotomy is finally learned, and they know how to transfuse blood from one person to another, and they have all the different rules, which I'm not going to go over. But the important thing is blood types by race. So I'm going to look just at O positive. And I went out to worldatlas.com and statista.com, and this is what I got. O positive, Caucasian, 37%, 37 out of 100. African American, 47%, 47 out of 100. Asian, 39%, Latino, 53%. So, regardless of the color of your skin, you may have the exact same blood type, which means there is only one race on planet Earth, regardless of appearance. It also means that up until 1899, if you are reading this passage of Scripture and has made of one blood all nations of men, you would have to take that strictly on faith without really knowing. But between 1900 and 1940, it's now known that this is true. So the Bible is actually true, which is very interesting because everyone says the opposite, but the Bible is true. Like I said, in 1900, or I should say 1899, and before that, you would have to simply take this on faith, and other people would say, well, this is not true. This is a book of fairy tales. This is false. This is fiction. And yet, there it is. It's not false. It's not fiction. So it doesn't matter. You have 37 out of 100 white guys have O positive blood. 47 out of 100 black guys have O positive blood. We are cousins. We are an unhappy family of human beings. And the Bible is true. And that's all that really matters. But regardless that, there will always people who will not believe it. They won't believe the evidence of their senses. They won't believe the truth. They won't believe genuine science. And that's okay.